Okay, boxing promoter and number one front man for PBC and Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe, chimes in on Anthony Joshua's loss to Alexander Usyk. He said that he reviewed the fight. He said it's an outcome that he can definitely reverse, but he needs to switch it up. There's no more nice guy in the gym. And somebody who would be a perfect fit for Anthony Joshua is Steven Edwards. Edwards was the trainer of, well, he's actually now the ex-trainer of Julian J. Rock Williams. Now, regardless of who he suggests that would be a perfect fit for Anthony Joshua, I believe a lot of people can fit in that slot with Anthony Joshua because the hole is so gaping over there. It's the fact that everybody in the boxing industry can clearly recognize that Rob Mccracken is insufficient. I know there's some people out there who love Rob Mccracken and love the idea of AJ and Rob Mccracken. It's not yielding results. And if you had to call somebody else in to win your belts back, then that should tell you a lot. But it's basically what Leonard Ellerbe did is basically a polite way of saying that your trainer ain't shit. Okay. And somebody wrote this to me and I would have to agree. They was like, man, it looked like AJ didn't even train with southpaws. Yes, it did look like that. Do I think they was crazy enough not to have that going on? I don't know. But, you know, in training camps, you know, a lot of people complain about there's not enough southpaws and stuff like that. And that's something that I actually scratch my head about. Like, it's so hard to find southpaws or to get sparring partners. The whole sparring partner circle seems to be extremely small. Okay. But one thing that I know for sure, I know that being the head coach, you are in charge of hiring the sparring partners. You know, hiring them, putting them up, making sure they good, you know, food and whatever and whatnot. If that's included in what you offer, I don't know. But one thing's for sure is he hasn't picked the right sparring partners for Anthony Joshua. And those sparring partners that did get in the ring with him, man, they was just going soft on AJ. Straight up, because he should have been more prepared than that. And the fact that he couldn't handle those flurries coming at him, it said a lot. It's not that he just couldn't handle it. He wasn't taught how to handle it. You can easily look and tell that he didn't face that in training camp. You can easily look and tell that. But the number one thing is everybody knows at this point. Listen, if you want to keep Rob Mccracken for personal or, you know, friendship reasons, that's fine. Okay. But this is why in business, they tell you to separate that family and business and friendship and business stuff, because at the end of the day, friendship ain't got nothing to do with business. The family ain't got nothing to do with business. That's where you get the term business is business, because it ain't nothing personal. It's business, you know, and a businessman will always respect that. They won't get caught up in their feelings. Rob Mccracken, not saying fire Rob Mccracken, because it's obvious AJ's not going to do that. All right, but should he be your head trainer no more? No. And given the fact that he's always absent, you know, because he's helping out whatever goes on with the Olympic stuff that goes over there in the UK. I don't know how that stuff goes. But one thing about Rob is he seems to be gone a lot. You know, people have questioned whether he would be in for this fight or that fight. Like, yes, I can attend that fight because of my schedule. The number one thing is Anthony Joshua is your number one breadwinner. He's the number one representative of your skill set. Why you keep putting all this attention in other people and coaching Olympics and stuff like that when you got a mega superstar? I have no idea. I'm not saying that you can't do that, but everybody should respect that AJ should kind of come first. And it seems like Rob work comes first, his Olympic and whatever he's doing on the side, then he gets to AJ. You know, and you say that because look at the way that he came in for the Klitschko fight. He had such a problem with Klitschko because he came in too damn heavy. You know what I'm saying? Weighing 240, 245. And like Antonio Tarver said, if you came in weighing 240 slash 250, well, what weight did you lose in training camp? What was you, 260? And that's just true. Who will allow you to go into, and keep in mind, he was fighting Klitschko. This wasn't no run. This wasn't Dylan White. You know, this wasn't to Cam. This wasn't Dominique Brazil. This was Klitschko, and you allowed him to come in like that. So either they're extremely insufficient, or Anthony Joshua really does what he wants to do in camp. And I'm starting to believe half those training videos that we see on Anthony Joshua is just for the camera. Because you train your ass off, but your gas tank is still iffy. You know, and in the Andy Ruiz fight, he was tired in the 3rd round. He was blew out. He was so tired he couldn't even jab. Go back and watch the fight. He couldn't even jab. Like, jabbing was taxing his ass. In the 3rd fight, he was completely tanked out. How was that possible as a professional? 3 rounds? Really 2? And I don't want to hear what went on and stuff. I don't care what went on, but you should be able to sustain 3 rounds. He was in that 3rd round like it was the 12th. And once again, who's in charge of that? Who's in charge of sparring? Who's in charge of that and sparring before a fight and this and that? Rob Mccracken. If you guys are a team, it should be no problem with holding people responsible as a team. And everybody's been telling you. I'm pretty sure if you hear it from the outside, I'm pretty sure on the inside, people that told you, yo, Rob is this. Rob probably may have taught you how to save your finances, what to do with your money, how to be smart. He showed you how to live and be a boxer. I know what Rob does for Anthony Joshua, you know, and it's more life stuff. And that's fine. But have him be the life coach, you know. But your head coach, well, you see what results that is yielding. And at this point, can't nobody point a finger at Rob. Can't nobody point a finger because AJ, you the boss. It's your pound of flesh. It's a chunk to get taken out of your ass when you're in there. So why wouldn't you want to prepare yourself the best way you can and stop thinking of some friendship or some loyalty you have to somebody? You know, if they're not good enough, they're not good enough. You know how they say sometimes friendships and relationships are seasonal. People are not meant to be there all your life. It's true. I'm not saying that Rob can't be there, but he's probably not meant to be your head trainer all your life. Hey, different boxers get trainers. Look at Deontay Wilder now, as much shit as he talked. He realized he needed to make a change, different trainer. Or a different head trainer, because I see JD's is still in the camp. But that clown is no longer the head trainer. Thank God. Okay? Tyson Fury, Ben Davison. Went from Ben Davison to Sugar Hill Stewart. This is what they do. Lennox Lewis switched up, went to Emmanuel Stewart. The best thing he could have done for his career, point blank, period. Okay, you brought in Angel Fernandez, but everybody's trying to be so respectful to Rob Mccracken that I don't think they really come to you and say, look, we need to do this. Or I don't think there's nobody in the camp that will bump heads with Rob Mccracken. Because they feel like, well, if I bump heads with Rob, that's like Anthony Joshua's daddy. I'm going to lose my job. And it's a good paying gig. I'm going to shut up and just do what they ask. I'm telling you what's going on. You know? But when you got somebody like Leonard Ellerbe, and listen, he's been doing this how long? He didn't watch so many fights. He's around fighters. He's in the game. He done seen it. Training camp. Leonard has seen it all. He has seen it all. So when he opened his mouth and tell you, look, you need to change something up and leave that nice guy shit outside the boxing ring. That's the other thing. Eddie and Anthony Joshua seem more concerned about the endorsements they will lose if Anthony Joshua lose than actual losing. I think we all can tell that right now. And I think Eddie put too much emphasis on the business and he drops that shit on Anthony Joshua. To the point Anthony Joshua just want to secure a win so they all can keep winning. Need to shake that shit. Eddie Hearn need to unlock his clutches and stop putting so much, because I already know what's happening because of the way he takes the fight. Like I said, Eddie Hearn take that shit harder than Anthony Joshua. But that's Leonard Ellerbe giving his advice, saying what he need to do. And I agree with him. I know it's not just me. Everybody needs to agree. But I don't care. I don't care if it's Beardy Edwards. I don't care if it's, I don't give a fuck who it is, because at this point, anybody's looking better than Rob. And the fact that you went in there with that wrong ass game plan, I mean, horribly wrong game plan, like hell, you know what I'm saying? My nephew could have came up with a better game plan, straight up. And it wasn't hard to figure out. You too big not to want to be the bully sometimes. You too big to be too timid. You too big to let everybody and anybody, no matter what size they are, back you up. Something that should have been practiced in training camp. But then again, hell, what do I know? That's my thoughts. Leave your thoughts. I'm out.